Today I'll show you how you can cook perfect juicy pork chops at home. Let's do it. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your chops are not too thin. We want them anywhere between 1 and 2 inches thick. Too thin and to get a good crust you're going to end up drying them out, and you want to start by cutting through the rind so they don't curl up when they're cooking. So use some scissors or a sharp knife and make a cut every inch or so down the back of the rind, and at this point you want to pop on your oven and preheat to 180 degrees. Also pop a frying pan onto the hob and turn the heat up high, and you want to leave the pan for a couple of minutes to get nice and hot. So while we have a minute you want to prepare your butter. So take some good quality unsalted butter, and I basically like to chop it up into cubes and then chuck your cubed butter into a bowl so we're ready to go. Once your pan is nice and hot, add a good splash of olive oil, and then you want to season your pork chop. Be really generous with your seasoning. The pork chop is really dense and you'll lose some of the seasoning in the pan. So a good pinch of sea salt, a nice few twists of ground black pepper, and make sure you rub all that seasoning into the pork. Also make sure you get some seasoning on the rind, and then as soon as you start to see a very light smoking from the oil, gently lay in your pork chop. Don't touch it. We want to cook it for 1 minute on each side to get a nice crust. So while your pork chop is searing away, we're going to prepare some garlic. We want about 4 to 5 cloves, and you do not want to peel them or they'll burn. Just give them a quick crush with the back of a knife. Stick your garlic in a bowl ready to go, and just quickly guys, please hit that subscribe button below, and at this point your chop should be ready for its first turn. So flip that over, and as you can see we're getting a nice crust on there already. So another minute on the other side, and you want to turn the chop on its side and sear off the fat and the rind on the side. Tilt the pan and fry the rind off in the oil. We want it to get nice and crispy, and we want to chuck in a nice few knobs of butter. And then you're going to want some rosemary. Chuck in a small handful of the rosemary and also some thyme. Pop in the same amount of thyme, and then you want to throw in your garlic. As soon as your garlic and herbs are in the pan, the butter will start to get nice and foamy. So you just want to take a spoon and baste the pork chop on both sides for about 30 seconds to a minute. After a quick baste, stick that into the oven, and we only need to cook it in there for about 3 minutes. And very quickly give the video a thumbs up by hitting the like button below. So after 3 minutes, take out your pork chop, and maybe the most important part of the process, you need the pork to rest. So pop it onto a board, chuck over your herbs and your garlic, and you want the pork chop to rest for about 7 minutes. And then after resting, you want to carve your pork chop. So if it's on the bone, cut it away from the bone and then slice into nice thick slices. And there you have a beautiful, moist, perfectly cooked pork chop. All that's left to do is to get stuck in. So give it a try, and I'll see you next time.